Guitar MVP of the stream. Alright, Arkham. But yeah, that was some Clone Hero. Let's get into some BattleForge. And again, if anyone's interested in trying out BattleForge for yourselves, it's now been revived as Skylords Reborn. It's completely free to play. There's no pay-to-win mechanics or anything like that. So if you never played BattleForge when it was actually a thing, you can go and check it out at skylords.eu and get started today. Anyways, let's switch the overlay to BattleForge. And the plan was just to do, because I try to stay active on there to get my BattleForge points and some new cards and such. And I've been working a little bit on my deck since last time I played it, so do want to show some of the changes I've made, and then, yeah, also get some of the daily quests done. But it's not going to be the rest of the stream. Because though BattleForge is nice to get back into, it is not necessarily the most... Like, you do get fatigued from this as well. Strategy games has a tendency to do that. Switch you in performance mode. Okay, so let's check out the quests that I have. 4-player map. Let's just reroll that. Collect all gold from chests from a campaign PvE map. Okay, play some Frost cards. Any random maps, yeah. And Shadow cards. Okay, that's annoying. And then some PvE matches. Okay. It's not too terrible. But yeah, one of the major things I changed in my deck since is that I've switched over to Fountain of Rebirth now, which should hopefully help out Toto whenever I get to play with her again. Unless I assume she's sleeping right now, but you never know. Poke poke, is the Toto awake? But yeah, we'll probably just take a few maps here. And I started playing on a higher difficulty as well. I used to play on difficulty 5, but I should be able to do 7 pretty consistently. I tried to do a difficulty 10 yesterday, I think 4 times in a row, but oh god, that is like so fucking hard, it's ridiculous. Because you basically need to start taking out bases very early on with 1-orb units, and once those bases get attacked, all the units from nearby places, they come swarming towards you. So you pretty much have to be really quick about it too. But the strategy is to put down one of each, or two of those in the beginning of the map, and then start putting down units, and I'll tell you why. So these Fountains of Rebirth, they basically give you a global health regeneration ability, which the fountain itself only costs 60 power, and you can have as many of them as you want. Now, the ability doesn't itself cost any power though, and it's got a 60-second cooldown, meaning that since it lasts 30 seconds, by the time one of them basically, or the ability has run out, one of the fountains will always be able to reactivate it, meaning that if I micro it just well enough throughout the entire map, all my units will have permanent health regeneration from the very beginning. And what's really cool about it is that it's all friendly units, meaning that if I play with, for instance, Toto or someone else, they would also get those health regenerating abilities. And what I do is I bind them to 2 and 3 because you have to activate them separately. But I can do that with the shortcut keys set. So there we go. So now they just have health regeneration. I still have my heal spell in my deck just as a contingency plan, but it's actually quite strong. Because the main benefit of it is that when units take damage spread out like this, they also, you know, the healing just becomes stronger. Since, you know, every single unit will heal the same amount, there's no limit to it. And then in cases like this, I can still use the heal spell to like pick up the slack, I guess you can say. Okay, let's be a little bit careful here. Gotta cool down in gear as well after playing so much Clone Hero. Okay, this guy doesn't really know what he wants to do. But yeah, I can't be, what do you call it? Shoot, what's the name for it? A word for it? Shoot. There's a good word for it. Like when you're, doing something without really being prepared or whatever. Overconfident, I guess is one word. Now, of course, the difficulty with these fountains of rebirths is that you have to constantly remember to reactivate them, otherwise your healing stops. Jeez, these guys just won't let me be. Now, I did sort of trade it in for the ability to have a tunnel network, though. So that is one thing that I no longer have, but it's okay so far. The real benefit is that it also means that your units will heal when moving from position to position, which normally they don't. So I can also move around, like it gives me that added mobility to the map, which you otherwise kind of don't really have. They really want to destroy this place. Bastards. Damn. Nah. Now I still have these aggressors in the deck, and I've been wondering if I should switch them out to something else. Because the issue with them is that they're really expensive to play. Ah, fuck, I forgot. This is not good. I forgot that if you do an attack move and all the enemies are like morphed into those pigmen, then fuck. Yeah, I might have fucked myself there. Don't panic. Okay, maybe panic. Now I might want to panic. The hubris. Crap, I might have fucked myself. Not even that guy gets to survive. Okay. Will these guys actually go up here to attack me here? Jeez. Well, so much for focus, I guess. But yeah, I basically aggroed that base by accident too early, and I had to pay the price now. Shouldn't necessarily be the end of the world. I'm also still getting used to this Fountain of Rebirth strat anyway. So I'm bound to make mistakes on that regard. The good thing is that since you pay them up front and they don't cost anything to activate their abilities, it does mean that you get a lot of heal over the course of the game, which is why they are seemingly pretty strong. Though you do have to remember to activate them all the time. Curious to see how it's going to go when I'm actually playing with other people, because the benefit, of course, is that everyone gets this regeneration ability. So, for instance, when I was playing with Toto last time, I would use heal spells across the map on her units, which, you know, meant that I was spending my power in order to help her out, which is not ideal when you also need to expand your own army and such. So having this health regenerating ability might be nice.
A power well is under attack.
Should only cost 100 because we already built one, but we're getting attacked up here, of course. This time I'll try and make sure not to aggro that base down there immediately, because I think we're supposed to go down here first, in the middle, since it did seem rather fortified. Should be able to get away with quite a lot though. Okay, let's try this again. Wait, that's not what I wanted to click. Let's get rid of these dudes. So I do want to convert them into aggressors. It's just a matter of getting like critical mass, really. Now, one downside to this strat is that it's stronger the more units you have. Okay, so they just attack you. Okay, fine. Or not fine. I guess I don't have a choice then. But yeah, as soon as I build here, they just decide to attack me. It's gonna be one of those maps. I think we can manage though. As long as we get those towers up. Would preferably get more units though. And I have a suspicion that they're just gonna keep coming now because it's like you trigger the horde in this game and they just keep coming. We'll see if we can't keep up with it though. So it doesn't seem like I have any other choice than to actually go and take out that base that's down there now. It would give us an orb by the looks of things though. But yeah, this is kind of the strat that I am using, right? I'm just using Curse of Oink to transform these guys to completely incapacitate them for a pretty long duration. Meanwhile, I use my units to take out their barracks. There we go. And we can actually retreat right now. Somewhat to safety. I said retreat? Oh, he's paralyzed. It's not the end of the world. After all, you never truly lose your power. It just gets converted into void power and then goes back into your energy pool. Power pool, whatever you want to call it. This is where the issue of the aggressors sort of come through, right? So they were more expensive than a magma hurler, but they're worse than a magma hurler in most regards. The main benefit that they have is that one, they take 15% less damage because they're a stonekin, and the other is that when they die, they heal units around them. But, you know, preferably you don't have a strategy that revolves around your units dying, so... Where did all those guys come from? I destroyed their base. I guess they managed to, like, spawn in or something. Yeah, these mindbenders were the problematic ones, because those are the ones that, what do you call it? Yeah, paralyze the units. There we go. They still have some units left. God damn. And the issue is that though I can freeze them, if you freeze down a unit, they actually take less damage. So yeah, they can't move and nor attack or anything, but they also take less damage. Unless you're playing specific blue cards or frost cards that actually deal damage, like increased damage to those frozen units. But that usually requires a completely frost-based deck, and I don't have that, obviously. Come on, can we like clear this out? I'm spending way too long on this. There we go. I mean, it is difficulty 7, so I am still getting used to it. Now the big question is that are they gonna attack up here? Or are they gonna attack down here? Hard to tell. Yeah, let's get rid of those units because preferably I replace them with magma hurlers instead. Mostly because that would allow me to get more units at the same time anyway, for less power. Yeah, we do have this building here to protect it while it's building the orbs, so... Here we go. Seems like I can remove this tower just fine though. But yeah, it truly is RNG on how well you do on these maps, huh? Though I gotta say, for the difficulty 10 maps, it was very consistently the same reason why I lost. So there definitely is like some kind of strategy that you would want to overcome or figure out, but I don't necessarily have the right cards in order to even manage to do it. Because even though Windweavers and Spearmen are level 3 for me, they just get overwhelmed quite easily. And I think the solution is to maybe invest into some higher rarity cards, and I have some ideas on maybe how to make this deck work a little bit better. Because the main issue is that because on difficulty 10, all these initial bases have a enemy spawning building, and I don't have any crowd control spells at level 1, only healing. I can't just like freeze down the units and then waltz in and take out the main building first. Which means that because I have to take down all the units in front and the units on the side, like pile on top of everything once I do attack, it leaves me with like, you know, too many units to deal with at once. So the way around that would be to get like some higher quality units maybe that can fly over or swift enough to like take out that base. Because it just takes too long for my units to take them out gradually until I get access to their spawning buildings. Speaking of, these guys are really not giving me any breathing room. Crap. We want to get that building out. Have like some kind of unit that blocks spells. Which one is it? It's gonna be like these Twilight Hags or something. It's definitely not good. My units are by no means weak though. But yeah, this is a lot to take out. Get that damage reduction spell in there. Some heals. Okay, I think we got this. But I have 12 minutes only to take out the rest of the map, and I haven't even found the 4th orb yet. And of course there's more units inbound here. Might have to build a tower just to protect it a little bit. Don't really have the luxury of taking these units back and dealing with this though. So I hope that cannon tower can take out the majority of that problem. Yeah, my guess is there's going to be an orb over here, yeah. And this is going to be easy compared to what I just had to go through. So I wasn't supposed to go down there, but I was kind of forced into it, I guess. Oh, my thumb tip, or my fingertips are sore from playing clone here for a couple hours now. It's all good though, it's all good. Okay, we get that second green orb. We only have 11 minutes though. Let's get in here. Take out that base building. Boom. Oh my god. Okay, they're really like charging in up there. That's not good. And down here. What the fuck? Okay, let's retreat up here these units. That's not good. I can't even spawn in units here because they have those spawn like spell preventing units or whatever you want to call it. Dude, what's up with this map today? They really just don't want to fucking give me the slip, huh? Jesus. Okay, looking more and more grim.
A power well is under attack.
Let's get that down.
A monument is under attack.
Not being able to cast spells on these dudes is definitely not good. Trying to figure out which unit it is. There goes another orb.
A power well is under attack.
They're also attacking over here. Oh my god.
A monument is under attack.
They're not giving me any chance. Did I advance too fast, I wonder?
A power well has been destroyed.
No surprise there.
A monument has been destroyed.
Red. Now I have like lost so much momentum and power. Yeah, so that's the issue of not having my tunnel network. I can't quite get around the map as fast as usually. Or as I used to. Oh, I bet you that they're also going to continue onwards up here. Yeah, good thing I came through here. Okay, let's get that down. I have to clear out a lot in 8 minutes. Gee. Get like an average of 2 minutes per base. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I also haven't quite figured out, but it seems like whenever you have to rebuild a power well, you don't, like whenever they're destroyed, you don't get like 100 power in return, which is kind of BS. So every time you lose one of those, it's like 100 power just lost. So, and I think it might be the same for the orbs. where you spend like 100 additional power just to rebuild it. And you don't get 100 power in return every time it's destroyed, so this is not good. Most worryingly is that I have very little idea of where they're actually coming from, which mostly just means that you know, I don't know where I should attack first. So we'll just have to sort of do a little bit of touch and go here. Six minutes. And I don't really seem to get the time to actually build 4 tier units, so I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Because though I have defenses, I mean, I would need way more than this if I needed to completely thwart this attack. So this is like costing me precious time. And that's the thing, preferably I would get all this up here on the right hand side build up again, but is all I can say. Don't think I can make it in time. Build you at least. We'll give it a shot, see if because my worry is that they're just gonna come attacking through here, and if they do that, then all that shit up there doesn't. I can actually see them. Wow, I can actually see their units. Sneaky bastards. Not today. Oof, I don't think I'll make it. 1.5 minutes, dude. So little time. Oh man. Even got a healing well here. Well, let's give it a go. Ah, for fuck's sake, not this. This guy has to die. Not the Wrath Gazer. Well, we're in it now. Because they keep paralyzing and completely like just nullifying everything I'm trying to do. Because they have units that literally block ranged attacks, and then they also paralyze me, which is the main issue right now. Try my best to do something about it, but my army is already like pretty fucking wrecked.
Is under attack.
Of course, of course. There's not much I can do about that. Yeah, I think I might have to try again. Because this is not going too well. It's fine though, it's the first map of the day. I mean, it is only 2 areas, but I'd have to take it out in 2 minutes, which... I don't know. That would be a little bit of a tall order if you ask me. Fuck's sake. Come on. Press on. Hey, hopefully we can at least get some tier 4 units. Because all my powers just vanished again. It's not much, but hopefully this is gonna be... Oof, no, this is not gonna be enough. This is not gonna be enough. No way is that gonna be enough. Nah. Nah, that's way too much. Let's just forfeit this one. Oh god. Okay, okay. Those Twilight units are a real royal pain up my butt. At least you get some kind of participation award when you, even when you lose. So it's not completely wasted time, but it is annoying. So that is actually something that I kinda wish that the Skylords Reborn team might look at. Some alternate random gen stuff for the skirmish mode. For PvE anyway. Because I do like the mode, it's just that sometimes the random gen is just really nasty. The worst I've seen is where they'll put 2 bases on top of each other. Or actually, I've even seen like 3 of them being right like in a triangle kind of shape. And they'll be so close to each other that once you provoke one, you basically have to fight 3 bases all at once. Which, yeah, that's a bit of a tall order if you ask me. Okay, let's get a little bit of an army going. And then try again. The good thing is, the higher the difficulty, you get more time, but... And I guess resources. But then when you go up beyond 7, they actually start giving you less resources when you start out. They still give you more time though, but still. It's definitely a challenge. You can't win. And the AI triggers for this skirmish PvE can also be a little bit nasty. Like on the 10th difficulty, which is the highest. I was wondering at first if like, oh, you know, if you hold back, will the enemy eventually just attack you? Because I noticed whenever I attacked the first base, all the other units nearby from other bases would storm in as well. But at least from what I could gathered from what little testing I did, it didn't matter how long I stayed around in the starting area. As soon, like it was literally as soon as you attacked them, that was the trigger for them to come out of the woodwork and make your day miserable. So sadly, there was no way of like preparing for the attack either, and then say go and try and take out the base after you got attacked. So you pretty much just have to use a blitzkrieg strategy. That is the only way. And yeah, this is the kind of shit that I really hope they would address in like a revamped skirmish generator, because these bases like are so close to each other that when I attack these guys, there's a high probability of the rest of the base getting aggroed as well. So sometimes you got to be real careful not to let that happen. And in the worst case, I've actually experienced building a power well, and then once it was finished, the entire base was just like, you built something over there. Time to take it out. Balance. Do not like that. Do not like that. But it's all good. You can just do another RNG map.
A power well is under attack.
And this time we're up against bandits, which personally, at least for me, seem a little bit easier to deal with. It's not necessarily easy, but it's easier. Also, let's get a single tower down there. That should be enough to protect it. Oh, that one is so far away. And then they also come from down there. Okay. Not so great. All my units a little bit all over the place. I think it's better to just let them do as much damage as they can. Instead of trying to min-max them. Well, that wasn't too terrible. I did lose a few units, but I mean, void power and all that. This map layout might also be a bit more in my favor than the last one. Because it does seem like there's a converging point down here, so once I take over that, you know, I don't have to protect every single base individually and worry about them going either way. I can just do that central point. And I think even now that I'm up here, they are probably just going to only attack up here. So I can probably get rid of that cannon tower. Get my void power. Okay, let's do this. That was a bit of a ballsy move, but I want to get that void power as fast as possible. So we sacrifice all our units, and then we want to invest that into a fire orb, because I think 2 magma hurlers can basically do what this entire army did to whatever's attacking up here. And they only cost 100 power, so. Put one of these down, reduce the cost by 25%. Ah, not quite fast enough. Okay. We will get our orb though. Fuck. Yeah, let's try that again. Because we do want to build our forces up before we move out. But at least these two guys should be able to protect this place just fine. Get that critical mass. Of course, we also have access to Stone Shell now, which is very useful. Okay, I have a feeling 6 of these guys should be more than enough. At least based off of what we're getting attacked with. Don't want to overinvest either if I can help it, because any resources that I don't use on units now I can reinvest in maybe a fourth orb, depending on the layout of the map. Yeah, we're basically backdooring these guys, so taking out the camp was really easy. So this is like a very, very generous map layout, right? Because it's basically, oh okay, you go around, you take the orbs, and then when you go into this connecting point here, not only do you get the benefit of being able to attack that building from without it being protected whatsoever, like you don't need to go through units, but now you also have a secure point from where you can sort of like protect the rest of your entire setup. And it seems like there's an orb down here, lovely, and it's not even heavily guarded, so this is like, this is in such a stark contrast to what we just went through. And remember, this is still difficulty 7. So that's also the other issue with the RNG of this skirmish mode. The difficulty can be very, very inconsistent. Because not only do you have different enemy types from the different factions spawning based on the map, but the layout can also be very much in your favor, like it is for this time around. Because we have so much excess power, we can just go down and build the power wells immediately and even get our fourth orb. We'll keep these fire elemental magma hurler thingies though. They'll just sit around here. Also, let's move the breeding grounds. Because now we do want to invest into some larger units. Will require a little bit of saving up, but we have all the power wells you can get now, so this is as fast as it will become, if not sacrificing our units. But I do want to keep these guys around. Can make a wheel of gifts. Question is always like, do you want that to boost your existing units, or do you want big ones? I think we want a giant worm. I did also get a sky catcher, which is a slightly cheaper version of a giant worm with, well, I guess it does a different type of damage. It's not really like specified as small or medium, large, XL or whatever, and it has less hit points, but it's also cheaper to play. The real cool thing about this one though is that, for one, it's siege, so 50% increased damage against structures, and the other thing is that it can do a twilight infection, which means that if I wanted to, I can actually, yeah, let's, no, wait, not on that one. Let me just demonstrate. So it costs 50 power here, those costed 70, but I can basically infect these guys with the Twilight Curse, and then they get like a small timer here for the transformation. And now I can transform them into a Skycatcher. Oh, okay, you still need to spend the power. Okay, it costs... Okay, never mind. I thought that would be way stronger than it actually is then. Okay, so that is actually pretty crappy. I wonder if it offsets the cost based of the unit's cost. Okay, then I don't really get why the Twilight Infection thing, why it would be strong. Because the problem is you still need the card to be on, like, you need a card charge in order, like, to play it even. Oh, that does actually say their cost to transfer into this unit. That's like barely any cost reduction. Yeah, that's like, I guess you get the unit costs back into your power well, but whatever. It does still have another useful ability though. It can impair all ranged attacks from hostile units within a 20-meter radius, which is really bloody good. Let's get a giant one, and I think we should be heading onwards. And then get some of those Wheels of Fortune. We should be pretty good though. Got plenty of critical mass here. Might need to put down a building here though, because I have a feeling there's a possibility of this chokehold getting attacked, and it spreads out in both directions based off of the outline of the map, so don't want any enemies to go through here when I'm looking away. Also have to remember to use my fountains. Oh shit, Zimbabwe is here. That is not so good. He's basically a campaign hero unit, if you want to call it that. And he casts Hellfire from the skies. Whoop. Should be good though. Fortunately, he wasn't being backed up by a ton of units. He has a lot of hit points though. He's by no means the worst one of them in the game, however. There's like one which is really obnoxious that constantly freezes your units in a pretty sizable area around him. And not only that, but like as soon as they're done being frozen, he just refreezes them. He also has a frost shield, which means that every so often he'll basically get an additional health pool on top of what he already has. So you not only have, you know, a lot of your units around him being frozen, but you also need to take him out rather quickly so that he doesn't just keep getting his shield up. The strategy is, of course, to like spread your units out a little bit further so that they're not all clumped up, but you know. He can definitely catch you off guard. He did so when I encountered him the first time, because I don't know if he only spawns when you get to a certain difficulty or whatever, but I don't remember ever seeing him before. He doesn't have too much in terms of health though, so his shield is quite sizable, but once you get that gone, his hit points goes down pretty quickly. Alright, let's go over here, see what we got. Let's take our sky catchers there. Get some damage reduction going. Make sure to activate the fountain. Yeah, of course we're getting attacked here, but we're slightly prepared. I'm thinking on going up this direction though. Let's get another Wheel of Gifts. These are also really cool for co-op, in case you don't know them. They give you one of free buffs that reaches across the entire map. And apart from the Fountains of Rebirth, these just need to be activated once and they're active all the time. There's one that reduces incoming damage by 20%, there's one that increases outgoing damage by 20%, and then there's one that you can unlock that heals all your units by 4% of their maximum hit points every, how often? Every 4 seconds. Yeah, 3%, sorry. So 3% of their max hit points, meaning that the chunkier the unit, the more healing you get. And again, it's not just map wide, but it also affects all your allies. Yeah, we got this, I think. Easy. Let's get another giant one. No hero units here by the looks of things. I'll just let them auto-target. There's like so much critical mass here. They're in a pretty good spot, I think. And of course at this stage the Fountain of Rebirth isn't like super great anymore, but it still does, you know, have some influence. Healing regeneration is always nice. And combined with the Wheels of Fortune, it just gets even better. We won't be building the last one though, because I need power for spells in this area. Let's plop that one down, plop that one down, some damage reduction and healing. Cool, and then I don't know, because I did take out the buildings as a higher priority. They do have a slave master, which is like a boss here though. But if I just keep healing them with regrowth, which is really, really powerful, combined with everything else, you know, he won't stand a chance. He basically damages the unit and then it almost immediately heals it back up again. We've got like, what, 9.5 minutes to spare almost? So yeah, compared to me being stressed on time and just stressed in general on the other map, this was a nice change of pace. And you get more coins or gold for beating them on higher difficulties, so. What I would want to get is the third upgrade for the Wheel of Gifts, because then they would become 20 power cost cheaper. Just super good. The only problem is that it's like 7,500 gold just for that upgrade. I don't even have the previous one. So I totally forgot that you needed a certain rank in order to get these, but I guess I'm just high enough rank to get whichever upgrades I want. Of course, there's also the Sky Catcher here, which, you know, can also be upgraded, but that one's even more expensive. And that's because it's tied to the rarity of the card, and this is a mythic rare. Though I did buy it off the auction house. It gives it more hit points, mostly. Like, it also improves the gifted impairment, but I don't know. I haven't really used it that much. There's also these abilities, which getting Cold Snap to the highest level could be really good. Reduce its power cost so you can use them more frequently. Curse of Oink is already level 3. This one, minus 5 seconds until reusable. Don't see any need for that though. It doesn't really make the card better because it lasts for 20 seconds and is reusable every 20 seconds by default. Oh, okay. With the level 1 upgrade, my bad. So the third upgrade doesn't really do anything. Well, apart from allowing you to have more charges, but haven't really gotten into a situation where that's really been necessary. Up. Regrowth is already so strong that I haven't had the need to actually upgrade it, but I could do so. Let's just do a bit of deck maintenance real quick. So right now I'm using Equilibrium again, and I'm still on the like uncertainty of which one to use, because Equilibrium heals more and it's instantaneous, whereas the other one is available at an earlier stage in the game. So far it seems like Surge of Light, which is basically a, you know, the basic heal, now that it's upgraded, is more than capable even, you know, to heal 2-orb units. So I don't necessarily think that getting the 2-orb spell would be necessary. And I did notice that the instantaneous heal was also a little bit stronger. Let me just read how it works again. So, more powerful, the more friendly units are positioned within the target area. They're healed for 500 life points per every 1200 friendly life points surrounding them. There's a minimum heal of 1,000, while up to 5,000 points can be restored in total. Okay. So that means if you wanted to heal 5,000, that would be what? 10 times 1,200 hit points. So to reach the maximum heal, am I understanding this correctly? You would need like 12,000 hit points distributed amongst all your units. That sounds like quite a lot. Yeah, if that's the case, no wonder it sometimes feels underwhelming, because I'll mostly be using it on the magma hurlers at that stage. They only have 1,200 hit points, so basically for each magma hurler I have, it'll heal all of them, you know, an additional 500 distributed amongst them all. That is the main catch here. It's a total, right? That's how healing in this game works. So when it says like up to 5,000, so it's 5,000 life points distributed amongst every single unit that gets healed. And if we look at the upgrades, because I noticed that it does mean that if I upgrade it, it can heal more sooner. So it's a really weird way of upgrading the heal effect, but let's just get that. I don't know if I can upgrade it fully. I can. And I even have all the charges, so boink. Alright. Yeah, no more daily rewards. But I still have quests just chilling. Collect all gold from chests in a campaign PvE map. Well, maybe we should do that. I will need a quick toilet break though, and I will be right back. And then we maybe do one of those. And that was very, very nice. Okay, let's dive into some PvE campaign maybe? I always have a difficult time choosing though, because campaign maps are always restricted to like a certain amount of players. So it's like either choosing a campaign PvE map or waiting till another day to do the quest with someone else maybe. Or, you know, re-roll it entirely. Also because I don't really like the way that rewards are distributed in these. Because you kind of just get whatever's. We could do the treasure fleet. Don't know if I can do it on an expert. It's been a while since I've done it, so. Do remember this map slightly though. I'm a strategist. That is my rank. Wow.
Escort the wagons safely to the humans.
This is going to be interesting to see because PvE campaign maps are a little bit different than the skirmish ones. Since you have specific goals and all that, so might not be super beneficial to have a Fountain of Rebirth on this one. Tunnels might have been a better decision, but we'll see. Because it basically means that if I clear this place up, I would be able to go back and forth, but it has been a while, so. I also don't have as much power as you do on the skirmish maps. I have 2 minutes, okay. Hmm, 2 minutes. Okay, I think we can get both fountains down, no problem. Get those bookmarked like so. Rather put down those first so that their cooldowns are sort of dealt with before I need them. Because it is a minute. Okay, I can even see like this building over here. Wait, I wonder if you build.
They are attacking the fortress. Don't leave it undefended.
Nah, there's like a wall of cliffs in the way. There's no way a tower would be able to shoot it from here. Maybe a siege unit might. But obviously you can't make those with one orb, so. I also don't have any one orb defenses, so hopefully that's not gonna bite me in this early game. Oh, I can repair these. I wonder if... Nah, there's no way. I wonder if like I upgraded some of these towers, because I do have that in my arsenal. Like if I upgraded it, if it would actually be upgraded here too. I don't think so, because that would be a little bit weird. Can't do this though. So what happens if I have the gate closed? Will they like... Okay, they will open it themselves. Cool, cool. Will they also close it again? That remains to be seen. Okay, they do. Never know these old games. What do we have up here? Power wells. Should be able to take this out before the gold wagon goes past. Because we're only allowed to lose up to what, up towards 2. Yeah, and it's not affected by my healing rebirth fountain thingies. Hey Ham, how you doing there? Good to see you. Hope you're gonna have a nice weekend. What are you up to? You're doing stuff. Okay, that sounds sus. just a little bit sus. I mean, you don't have to be doing anything. It's not like a requirement or anything. Okay, this might have been a bad idea. Okay, those units just got fucking trampled by the treasure wagon, gold wagon. Do I want to sacrifice this one just because? Because the more I... Ah, crap. The more of all this stuff I take out, the less I have to deal with later. There's also this situation in the base, if you will. Yeah, I probably can't heal it either. Should definitely have some resources now, but I need more orbs. That is the main issue at the moment. With at least one orb more, I can make towers, which will help out quite a lot. Because this up here is...
This isn't good. Each of those wagons represents hundreds of lives.
I know, Moon, I know. But this is also a video game. And video game logics dictate that if the game says that you may sacrifice... if you lose 2 or more, you... Oh, if you lose more than 2, you lose the game, then that is within the... you know, allowed danger zone. But yeah, something you might have noticed is that the ritual rebirth cannot overlap. So there's no reason to make more than 2 of those either. What I don't know though is if each individual player can have their own version of that buff, if you will, activated at the same time. Because obviously that's a bit hard to, you know, test out on your own. But it could be interesting to see if that's possible, because if it is, it would mean it would stack, and that's why I doubt that it's a thing. But you never know. You never know until you go. Wanna make it last forever. Wanna make it last forever. Ooh, baby. Alright. Let's get some aggressors. So aggressors. Aggressors. So what do we have up here? Some power wells, okay. Need to keep an eye out on that gold wagon. Wagon and wagon and fragging. But yeah, Ham, you missed out on all the music earlier. Oh, I don't know if you did. I didn't stalk if you were in chat or not. But we did play a bit of Clone Hero just to wake up. Brush it off and putting on a little makeup. It was pretty good. It came in and suggested some pretty difficult songs. I didn't miss out on that. Too bad. This entire route is just like been pretty much clear of enemies. I would very much like a 4th orb so I can start making the highest tier units, but I have a feeling we would have to clear out the end point to get that. We can make that happen though. Let's get rid of this one. So no major plans for the weekend, eh? I've been working on, I don't know if you saw, or if anyone else saw, but I've been working on a update to the Minecraft mod pack yesterday, and a little bit the day before as well. It's turning out pretty well. I've currently been just testing a beta version, if you can call it that, to see how everything functions and if there's any changes I want to make. I have a handball match you're gonna attend with a friend that your classmate is playing. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you got something then today. It's not completely void of things that you're up to. Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Jumped the gun there a little bit then. Fair enough, fair enough. Regarding the mod pack again though, I am open to suggestions if there's anything in particular that wasn't in the past mod pack version that you'd like to see in the new one. That doesn't conflict with something that's already in it. Tinker's Construct is cool, but it's also way too performance heavy. With Crate already being there, it's kind of like not got any room for it. And it's also unnecessary when Silent Gear is in there. It's like always, in my opinion, you should not have Silent Gear, Tinker's Construct, and what's the third one? Tetra at the same time. Because they all do pretty much the exact same stuff, just in each their own way. So, sorry. Also, the smelting stuff for Tinker's Construct is just super laggy. Which is the main issue behind Tinker's Construct, at least. And it's, oh yeah, and it's 1.18.1 for Minecraft, by the way. I should definitely mention that. Good point.
The wagon is safe. The humans have it.
Oh yeah, I haven't... What am I talking about? 4 volt. This is the 3rd orb. Dude. Can I just like stand right next to this and it won't shoot me? I reckon so. What I have been focusing on though is that it's basically right now it's create that is still the focus, but I'm extending it with magic though. So that is kind of the direction it's been going in. And I've already uploaded a, I haven't checked it since yesterday, but I have put up a beta version of it as well for review. So hopefully BattleForge gets it reviewed relatively soon, so that we can get it out and sort of experiment it on. Currently there's mine colonies in there as well, which I don't know if it's such a good idea for servers, but you know, it's a possibility at least. Because mine colonies is not just so much performance, but it's also like there's so many things that can go wrong with it, from what I've experienced at least. But I never really managed to mess around with it all that much, and I kind of want to get to do that. Because I liked Millionaire when that was a thing in the past, and you know, this is basically the next version of it, if you can call it that. I have no idea if there's any affiliation with the mod offer and the original Millionaire mod, but they're very similar though. If not in content, at least in purpose. What's mostly been the challenge so far is trying to figure out how to make 1.18's caves more interesting. Because there's so much depth to the map now. I guess height as well, so just verticality, but also a lot of caves. And vanilla Minecraft doesn't exactly add a lot of stuff to these caves. It does feel a little bit empty if you don't sort of like add more things to it. So far it's mainly been like a little bit of dungeons generation and a little bit of additional stones and that kind of stuff, and it's, from what I've tried so far, it seems pretty good. It doesn't seem as empty as it was before I started modding the shit out of it. Wait, I can't put down spells here. Oh, that's not good. Crap. But yeah, I've been talking with Peak about it a little bit over the past 2 days whenever he's had the time. And we both agreed that the the mine colonies pod is up for debate still. One of the other tricky parts has been trying to find replacement mods for all the things that are not updated for 1.18 that was in the original mod pack. So most notably, like the one thing that I finally found a solution for yesterday was the metal barrels and iron chests mod, which does have a 1.18 equivalent, which is actually pretty good. But I just couldn't find it initially because it's not called anything with barrel or chest. I think what was the name? Expanded storage, I believe. And that's because it adds both, basically. It doesn't just do one, it does both. Which is kind of nice because it means that all the upgrades and such, they're like harmonized, so you can use them in either chests or barrels. But yeah, feel free to post suggestions into the Discord suggestion channel or whatever, wherever, on the Discord at least. And then I'll consider it and taking a look at what you guys come up with. because I've already spent like a good amount of time looking through all the things that exist, but you know, considering what I just said about the expanded storage thing, it just goes to show that there's a high chance that, you know, I don't know every single mod out there. Mystical agriculture. Well, it's a very it's one that almost every mod pack has, I feel, but it's also a bit OP because it's like a equivalent exchange. I don't like either of them for the same reasons. And it doesn't really, like, it works with create, of course, because everything works with create, but it sort of negates a lot of the challenges that you know, you're normally supposed to overcome. Yeah, I guess it's called Project E these days. A bit too overpowered, in my opinion. I do like mystical agriculture in the way that it works, but it's very much a get essence to get more essence to get more essence until you eventually have so much critical mass that you can literally like manifest any resource out of thin air that you would want, negating any sense of or any need for exploration, dungeon delving, mining, contraption building, or anything, because it's just built more plants and get them upgraded. Ooh, that's some. Ooh, those are some pretty big boys over there. I did add some farming mods though. What's it called again? Farmer's Delight I added because I was curious to see what it was about, and I'm fairly happy with it so far. My main worry about adding anything like that was that I didn't want another Pam's Harvest Craft scenario where every time you bash any kind of grass, you know, you can get any of like 8 different types of seeds. Because that just fills up your inventory with a lot of clutter and it's just not fun. But fortunately, Farmer's Delight doesn't do that, which is really, really good. So that's definitely gonna be staying. Because I did hear that some people said in the previous version of the mod pack they wanted some farming related mods, and there wasn't really any that expanded the farming part of the game, so now there is, or rather there was, but it was like being able to farm in the Nether and the End, which is not quite the same. I've also added chocobos. Because I really, really like chocobos. And ChocoCraft 4 is, which it's called now, after some brief... What? Looking through it. Okay, this guy just got stuck. Oh well. But yeah, ChocoCraft looks really good. I haven't gotten really into it, but it's nice to see that it's finally been revived, I guess you can say, because it used to be like a thing back in the day, and then whoever originally made it abandoned it for quite a while, and then someone tried to revive it, but they didn't, at least in my opinion, do a super great job at it, where the chocobos were way too overpowered because their movement speed was just ridiculous, for one. And there was nothing you had to... It kind of lost that whole breeding aspect of the original mod, which is why I really liked it in the first place. But ChocoCraft 4 seems to have all that covered now. In fact, from what I could tell from the configs, there's even like some kind of breeding not necessarily inheritance, but like gradual stat building system where their stats can either go up or down, and is also integrated into dungeon delving where you get these mushrooms or whatever for the chocobos, which you can feed them in order to give them new abilities like being able to fly, swim underwater and all that stuff, which the original mod also had but required you to do crossbreeding. I don't know if that's still in there or how all that works, because again I haven't dived into it, but it seems very promising. And at least back in the day when I first used it, they were just like so good to have as mounts. Just make sure we don't die here, because that bastard over there is making sure I can't cast spells, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's still a Create-tastic. It's going to be named Create-tastic 2 with the subtext Arcane. And at the moment I don't have any plans on making a 1.18 version of the non-magic version, like a non-magic version of the same mod pack, simply because a lot of the stuff that was in the original Create mod pack that expanded the content just doesn't exist at the moment for 1.18, namely bio mods and all that stuff that extended the end and the nether and such. So yeah, that is just a general TLD, not really a TLDR, but that's a generic overview of what I've been working on there. Also, I think I've just won the map because there doesn't seem to be anything left spawning here. That seemed like this place could open up though. It's like 2 rocks in front of it, but I don't know if that's for the expert version or if it's like a secret or something. Surely there's not secrets in these maps. And we only need this last gold wagon rescued, so... Oh, I can actually fly over here. Okay. As far as I know, nothing happens after you just have to secure the gold wagons and then you're done, right?
The last wagon is through. Good work.
Yeah. Bink. Done. Alright. But yeah, I get these cards, and though it's cool to get upgrade cards this way, it's also kind of meh. I guess the main benefit of doing PvE campaign maps with the upgrade cards is that if you get one for a high rarity card, it might be cheaper than upgrading them, and if you get duplicates you still get, like, they get converted into gold, of course. But I mean, I got 183 gold for a map that took like how long compared to a campaign skirmish PvE map. Yeah, but we did complete 2 objectives, which was the main reason we did that in the first place. Cool. So that kind of clears out a lot of the quests. Not much I can do to get more BattleForge points today. And I don't really have any gold, so... yeah, no point in really looking into that. But just to quickly cover it, one of the things that I want to try out at some point is to replace my archers and spearmen with a mana wing and an Amazon, because they both have the swift ability, even though it doesn't say on the mana wing, but they move at the same speed at least. I don't know if flying units are just inherently swift, I don't think so. But the cool thing is about this combo is that a mana wing is a beast wizard, however that works out. But it basically means that the Amazon's ability, which is called wildlife protection, I'm pretty sure, yeah, affects this mana wing creature. And what it does is that it increases the regenerating ability of those beast creatures by 50%, which would work pretty well together with the Fountain of Rebirth. And because they're both swift units, maybe that's the ticket to to beating the difficulty 10 maps. And as an extra bonus, these things, they can blink back to your friendly units in a pretty long radius, meaning that you can send them in to attack a building and then blink out of the danger zone, maybe even. They're also ranged and they're flying, meaning that they're not affected by any ground troops trying to block their path and will only get attacked by archers. Now, the main downside of them, though, is that they have so little hit points. So they're like a very much, you know, a risky unit to use. But the Amazon, on the other hand, are pretty chunky. And I can't remember what do the upgrades. Yeah, that's like they gain more damage as well as they're upgraded. So pretty decent. Oh, hey, Argon there. Welcome to. How you doing? Just talking about one strategy I might be going for in the future before switching games. But yeah, the Mana Wing does get a few extra hit points, but the main benefit is the teleport range gets drastically increased, so. But yeah, the problem with this is that I don't think these units are going to be viable until I get them fully upgraded, and both being rare, right? Yeah, they're both rare, so they're also going to be expensive to upgrade since gold cost. So it won't be a while till those are really viable. Just woke up grabbing food and a coffee and then headed to work. Okay. So that means you missed out on the music just like Hamp did. I played some Clone here a little bit earlier to wake up myself. So. But work on a Saturday? Damn. I am so glad I don't have to work in the weekends. That is like... oof. One of the things I've always wanted to avoid. Right. Let's get our 14 hours shifts Saturday to Sunday. Oof. 14 hours. And doing what exactly? Because 14 hours is a lot of doing basically anything. Oh god. Oh. Okay. I know then. I've been in a kitchen before. I've worked for I think like I did like a trial run in a kitchen for 6-7 hours or something. Prep line cook. Okay. Not exactly sure what a line cook is, but I think I understand what prep is. A good friend of mine, moderator and all, and the guy responsible for our community service, going by the name Pikachu, he's also a chef. And he uses me as like a crutch whenever he comes home to like vent his anger or whatever, talking about his job. So I get a lot of insight into how the industry works. It's very interesting. Line is the area where food in a restaurant is made plated. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, when I was working at his kitchen as a trial thing, I was basically a whatever guy. So I did a little bit of prep. I did a little bit of general cleaning, putting wares into stock and all that stuff. So just, you know, all the things that the actual chefs shouldn't spend their time doing when they're only 2 chefs in an entire kitchen during the summer periods. It was pretty wild. It was also very dangerous. The floor was basically the floor of death, because it's like these tiles that are really smooth. So as soon as there's a little bit of water on it, it just becomes a slippery slope. You're the backbone, yeah. I see. If you leave, they panic. The power. Oh. Yeah, it's the same situation for Peak's kitchen actually. The main issue they had during summer was that, well, not main issue, but or the main issue has been staff, right? And because they started up a new restaurant, restaurant it's like a chain restaurant, but they started up a new one during summer, and they just had a really hard time getting employees to like be there consistently and not quit their jobs. And at one point during summer, they had 3 waiters quit their job on the same day collectively. And to make matters even more sore for them, if I understood it correctly, they also moved to a different restaurant, basically. That's why they quit, was to start working in a different place. They were short on waiters at the end, so much so that the 2 chefs that they had, that was all they had at most, also had to start serving people because they just didn't have the staff anymore. And then and then the people on cleanup duty, there's a guy that is kind of being mocked a little bit now, because he's just like, you know, completely not there when he was working, and the entire cleaning sink area was just a complete mess, basically. Your bare bones at this point, you need more people. Yeah, I think it's the same thing across the entire industry because of COVID, the pandemic and everything, because everyone basically got forced to like quit the job or whatever in different circumstances, and it just created all kinds of chaos. Yeah, and I imagine it's the same in the US, right? So I can relate. As a matter of fact, Peak, again, he was working in an airport right before the pandemic happened, and he's been working there for 3 or 4 months or so. And then the pandemic happened, and, you know, all the flights got canceled and stuff, to the point where he basically ended up not having anything left to do, with the airport eventually deciding to send everyone home with full pay for the time being. And he actually ended up being sent home and have, like, for a longer period of time than he had actually worked. So he earned more money from being sent home than actually doing his job at that point. So eventually they decided to let go of a lot of people there. Yeah, I mean, it's not so awesome because you know, it meant that he didn't have anything, any kind of job certainty. But eventually he completely got shafted because they had to make cuts here and there. Yeah. And because he was new, even though he was performing way better than a lot of the other people there, they were basically not prioritizing him, simply because, actually it's not even because he was new, right? It was because he was in a particular kitchen at the airport, which wouldn't be open until like much later than the rest of the airport. And instead of prioritizing him over other people that worked less efficiently anyway, or better or whatever, and just move him to a different kitchen, they decided just to prioritize firing him over someone else, because that kitchen he was stationed at wouldn't be open for a while. So it doesn't quite make sense, in my opinion. And it's also a little bit hard to explain, but yeah, that's the general gist of how it was. So basically they let people stay that maybe might not have been the most deserving people, as far as I could understand on the situation. But yeah, I need to make a quick cut in the stream, and I will be right back, and we'll jump into a different game. So just give me a moment. Actually, let me get on Twitch first before I do that.